What is going on, everybody? Welcome! Ran out of breath there. Welcome to tonight's quadruple premium Mr. Knife giveaway live event. What does that mean? It means I didn't have enough time to fill out 20 new pouches, so I was like, okay, I'll just do the last 4 again and fill them all up with premiums, which means if you win tonight, you are guaranteed to win big. And let me tell you, there are some doozies in there. I put some freaking awesome knives in there. I think bare minimum value is, it's got to be 450 combined bare minimum. One of them in particular is very special. I'll just go ahead and tell you, one of them in there has a huge slab of Damascus in it. So really cool stuff tonight. You can only win if you're here. If you leave and your name is called, you can't win. We move on to the next person. Live participation. So, just make sure that you're here. How is everybody doing? Bradford Mitchell, thank you so much for those memberships there. I appreciate that. Congrats to the people who won those. Very kind. Far and away, the #1 gifter of memberships. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. It helps the channel, and you also, you know, give something to somebody else at the same time, which is cool. Very cool. MC, I emailed you to ask if you wanted to review the Magnamax Mule Team. Did I see that? God, I think I maybe saw that really late last night. That's a fixed blade. It sounds really interesting. I don't know what, like I don't know, I can't properly test it, you know? I would love to, just for an opportunity to talk about Magnamax. Why don't you email me again, just so I can have an opportunity to talk about Magnamax. But I guess the only way that it would be, like, if you were okay with me using it, and I also want to know if the edge is factory, then I could get kind of an idea. I've got a bunch of boxes in my garage that I could break down. I could give people a vague idea. So email me again. Let's talk about it. Thanks for that donation, JC. Appreciate it. Apple or Android? Android. Now I have an Apple iPad. As far as tablets go, I do prefer an Apple tablet. I do not like Apple computers. I have a Legion, Lenovo Legion computer. I think this is an i7. I don't know. It's a 4090 with it's a 24 core 4090. But anyways, Android for sure. Yeah, I'll never switch. I'm too used to my phone doing exactly what I want it to do without having to pay for things. And not giving me constant limitations on what I can and can't do. The Android phone allows me to do every... In fact, I would not be able to optimally run this channel if I didn't use an Android phone. I also like that my pictures look good. I also like that, you know, when I take a picture, it doesn't look like I took the picture with a potato. That's overused. It doesn't look like I took the picture with a block of wood. Every time I try to take a picture with my wife's phone, and like there's not like absolutely perfect lighting or it's not daytime, her phone's like, sorry, here's your shitty picture, idiot. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you? Uh-oh. Hold on, I think I left my beverage out here. This is my wife's high school reunion weekend. So I have all the kiddos. I have the baby monitor. So there's a small chance if the little tiny one wakes up that I might have to cut it early, but I doubt it. What serial number did I get on the Asgard? Good question. Let's look. 43. 43 on that. Really like this knife. Really nice. Absolutely beautiful piece. Very smooth. Awesome stuff. The green CJRB, yeah, that's the Tundra. Oops. The lanyard got stuck on that knife. This has a built, well, it's attached to the lanyard. I mean, I wouldn't carry it around like this, but it has that secondary stop. So it's like a fairly overbuilt budget knife. I think these ended up being like $70, $68. Big, beefy, robust, 190 thousandths blade. They did not use AR RPM 9. They used D2, which is fine. But yeah, like you have that double locking system. So this is a pretty robust, pretty inexpensive knife with a fairly, robust locking system. This lanyard, I'm just going to cut it off right now. This is driving me crazy. I'll keep the thing with it when I give it away, but the lanyard just makes me insane. I feel like whoever ends up with that would make a totally different lanyard anyway. Like, no sane person would carry it around like that. It's just obnoxious. Which winter blade is my favorite? One of the most impressive winter blades. Like, here's the thing. The Severn. The Severn is amazing. The Factor 8, because of the quad magnet detent system. But also, I mean, I know it's not fair. I think besides Brian Winters, I'm the only one on earth who has this. The Darkfire. It's just too cool. It's too cool. I got enough nasty DMs. I will stop asking later. What? You got enough. I got enough nasty. Not from me, you didn't. What do you mean, Titanium? You got nasty DMs from who? What's the black knife to the left of the helmet? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. So that's going to release here in the first week of October. This is the Arcane Design Abyss V2 in full DLC. I believe Magna Cuts, Hollow Compound Tanto, full DLC frame and blade. I think the most beautiful knife he has ever done. I think this is spectacular, and I think Arcane Design's aesthetic deserves DLC. It is absolutely stunning. It's a satin DLC. Absolutely beautiful. I think I might keep that one. I'm really concerned about Titanium Justin's message there. I want to know what nasty DMs he got and from who. I would lend you my Cold Steel Full Metal Atlas in satin to review, but it has scars from being EDC'd. I really appreciate that. Actually, let me make a public announcement about accepting loaners from people. I have dramatically reduced the amount of loaners that I accept from people, and here's why. I have so many knives here from so many companies, and I have so many companies willing to send stuff, and I get really uncomfortable about having other people's stuff here. And I've got a few people that I accept, that have been like loaning me knives a lot over the years, and they know like, hey, it could be months, because the schedule is just absolutely insane. And if I keep doing that with a million people, stuff like gets pushed to the back, and I forget about it. And I don't want to have a whole bunch of people's stuff here. It makes me nervous, and I don't want to make people wait, and I don't want to make people irritated. So I try to get it directly from the retailers and manufacturers. Big Jim, welcome to the Knights Around Night to Raise Your Swords for Big Jim coming back as a knight. I don't say this enough. I don't promote the membership program, but if you want to join my membership program, this is not Patreon. You do support the channel, but it gains you access to the badging system. You can see the people in chat there. They've got little helmets beside their names, and they're raising little sword emojis. Those are exclusive to my knights. Your helmet will change colors and rank up over time, all the way up to, I think, 4 years. You can go down to the description, and I think it's the 4th link down. It says, become a member of my channel. If you want to join Knights of the Round, there's 1,000 of you. The army, the Metal Army, is 1,000 strong. So if you want to join the Metal Army, you can do that. I myself, who I am, the dumbest thing I've ever done is become my own member. Considering Google takes a chunk of it, I am paying myself money that I spent, and Google is taking a percentage of that. So essentially, I'm paying Google to be a member of my own channel. I am a Green Knight, and I am an idiot. But the helmet looks cool, so I leave it there. You've been watching for over 20 years? That's impressive, considering I've only been here for 7.5. Am I the king? I am, but I haven't ranked up. Technically, a lot of my knights actually rank higher than me. So I'm working towards that. I'm working towards that Eterna, that glowing helmet, that only a few guys in here have it. Glock in here is an Eterna. There's a few people in here that are Eterna that have been here for over 4 years. Robert M. there. Actually, Robert, I think, is not only one of the oldest members, but he's one of the oldest subscribers. I've been a member since before MC was born. Kyle Duffy also here. OG Spaghetti Wizard. You lost a year because of Google? That's poopy. But I know you. I recognize you. I know you've been here. We've seen a little white Mountain New Salafin knife. It looks similar to your Excalibur, does it? You know, I venture to guess a lot of knives will look very similar to Excalibur. I think it's a popular profile, and not because I'm not claiming any originality with it. As many of you know, it's based on the XM18. It's based on the Demco 8020, the Shaman largely, a number of models actually. So I think it's just like my conclusions are similar to a lot of conclusions, you know. So I think that's fine. Had Gimoto, thank you very much for the donation there. It's very generous of you. Appreciate that. I do try to let people know, you know, if you wonder, like, what does... I never ask for donations. If you wonder what I do with donations, every donation is calculated into the monthly budget, along with Patreon and membership income. So the budget for the channel that I use, and I spend it on things that I think you guys will find interesting. Oftentimes that stuff gets given away. But the budget for the channel is made up of the donations, the membership stuff, and the Patreon stuff. So that's how I come up with the money to spend on knives that you guys would find interesting. And I tend to save it until I find something that I cannot get from another retailer or maker. If I'm forced to buy it, well, then there we go. But sometimes it's worth doing because it's a good talking point. What's my favorite knife on the table? Oh, boy. As much as I love the Hinderers, and as much as I love that Alchem, that gold Alchem, yeah, it's this guy right here. The CKF and Peter Resenti mirror polished black DLC snafu 4.0 large. Got that magma carbon fiber DLC frame, and it's an integral. This is kind of an ultimate pocket knife for me, and it's an incredibly rare pocket knife. They didn't do very many of these, but I had a little bit of an opportunity to buy it. I did pay for it, but I had a little bit of a sneaky opportunity to buy that, so I'll keep that one forever. How much is the Excalibur? Well, the integral version of the knife is about 420. Sometimes if Kunmu drops it, like DLT had them slightly higher. I think Kunmu currently has them at like 420 base. But coming up is the sandwich construction version. and you guys know that's going to be substantially less. We're aiming for 250. It might be a little bit higher. There's a lot up in the air right now because tariffs. I mean, I have no idea. But we're aiming for 250. Still Kunwu. I am 100% loyal to Kunwu. I have had 5 different OEMs offer to make the Excalibur and any future designs, and I liked all those OEMs, but I told them no. And I'll tell you why. It's because Kunwu has a very specific dedication. Mostly Sergio has a very specific dedication to quality control and especially heat treatment. He also is willing to use steels that you don't normally see. And I like Sergio. That's the kind of person that I wanted to work with. So that's why. I could probably make 5 times more money by spreading my design out or spreading other designs out to other OEMs, and I'm just not really interested in that. I want to make a really, really good product. I don't want to release anything into the market that I don't think is good. So the Excalibur is solely with Kunwu. Yeah, also the sandwich construction version is it's going to be a compression lock or the Vertilock, which is stabilized by the pin, which is totally unique to any previous compression lock. That was not my idea. That was Sergio and Kunwu. Part of the reason why I like to partner with them is because they will do things that make knives better. They can innovate like that. I think that's really neat. First time actually watching your live stream. What's up, man? Alejandro, thank you very much for being here. What's up, Rob's Nerdy Knives? Yeah. If you're a part of the Kunwu Facebook group and you interact with Sergio, you probably have the same opinion of him as me. He's very similar to me. Sometimes he says and does things that rile people up, and that's just how he is. But he's a good person. He's just not afraid to tell it like it is. I like him. He's a cool guy. He will. He will. I would never challenge Sergio on knife knowledge, by the way. Like, if you want to know, like, which one of us has superior knife knowledge, I am but a squire. Sergio is far superior in terms of, like, knowledge about not only the industry, but, blade steel composition, heat treatment, stuff like that. Yeah, far superior to me in terms of knowledge. Does he burp loudly? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only knife YouTuber who belches into the live stream. I don't know. You guys tell me. I do not have any rich-made knives. Where's my chapstick? There it is. What an amazing journey indeed, Henry. What an amazing journey, bud. The Gerber Slim Sada? No, I haven't. You know what I'm the most excited about? The most excited about right now is the return of the, is it the Microtech? Is it the Venom 4? Am I right? The Venom 4 single action? Somebody confirm that? I know they're bringing back the Halo 4, which is... Okay, that's fine. But is it the Venom 4 that's coming back with it? I just need a confirmation. Yeah, no, I know the Halo's coming back, but what else came back with it? Yeah, Nix, you got gifted a membership. No, it's not the dragon? No, it's a Venom. It's the... Isn't it? It's on Microtech's page. It's the big, long one where the button's right in the middle of the handle. It's one of the coolest, most iconic single-action OTFs that he's ever done. And he's bringing it back. First, it's going to be a custom, and then it'll be a signature, whatever, super butt mumbo-jumbo 9000 turbo nonsense, whatever, in between. And then he'll do the production version. The mini MSI is a good idea. You know what Hey, listen, on that subject, you know what pisses me off? You guys looked at the full titanium versions of the MSI and the Stitch, what they price them at now? They launched those things. They launched the Stitch in Frag at $455. There's still a sold-out listing on Blade HQ at $455. You know what those things go for now? Over $550. That was 2 weeks ago. What the heck? Nemesis 4. I'm sorry, not Venom. You're correct. Nemesis 4 is the one I'm excited about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Microtech's channel and watch their upload about the re-release of the Nemesis 4 and the Halo 4. That Nemesis is one of the... Oh my god, it's so beautiful. The Nemesis single action OTF, I think it's close to 10 inches. I think it's 9 3/4 overall. It's freaking huge. It's got a 4 1/4 inch blade. Monster single action. I didn't think, dude, Robert, I didn't think it would either. That was a total surprise. But how, my voice is cracking because I'm going through puberty at 38. The Nemesis 4 is such a beautiful knife, and the fact that they're bringing it back is awesome. I might actually consider buying a custom. You know what I want them to bring back? I want Microtech to mess around with Dragon Scale Damascus again. I think that's ball bearing Damascus that's made in a crucible. If you've never seen Dragon Scale Damascus before, it is absolutely stunning. Now, I think the reason that we don't see it, I've heard that it has issues with it patinas in a way that makes the surface look weird, and it also has corrosion issues. But I love Dragon Scale Damascus. I think it looks amazing. Hoblin? Welcome to Knights Around. Knights, raise your swords. The dock is absolutely something that needs to come back, but that, if my knowledge serves me correctly, is a Mick Strider collaboration, and that would be a costly collaboration. The combination of Tony Marfione's work and Mick Strider's work in a production knife will cost us dearly, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to see it returned. You know what else I want to see come back? The Integral MSG. Do you remember that? I do, because it tortures me every day that I don't own one. The titanium manual Strider and Marfione MSG is a legendary pocket knife. It is a Marfione Strider. I want it. I can't have it. And that frustrates me. I've been spoiled. I've gotten used to being able to get what I want, and I can't have that. So I just throw my little baby fit and stomp my feet and say, ah! Can't have it. OS 10 is decent. I'd save up for the original arcade. You know what they need to do? They need to make a version of the arcade that's got these polycarbonate scales and a 20 CV blade. I love this knife. The only thing that is like mediocre about it is the blade steel, but everything else is great because this polycarbonate, the edges are rounded better, so you don't have that sharp edge that's associated with the original aluminum one. You got one in Armor Core, John Duncan? I'm so freaking jealous. That's sick, man. Good for you. Hold on to that thing and never let it go. That is a super valuable piece. Sever7, thank you for your donation. Mini MSI looks sick. Also, can you show the Miguron? Which... Oh, yeah. The Omega? Chunko Mungo. 425 thousandths of M390. Good God, what a thickness monster Chunko Donko. You can buy this knife right now. As far as other knives that are as thick, it has very little competition, but it is priced lower. You'll pay hundreds of dollars less for this versus the Alpha Beast, and you can buy that. Actually, I have a link in my description for Miguron, so if you want to use that, I get a little kickback. You can also just ignore that completely and just go right to their website. But yeah, it's a good knife. I mean, if you like overbuilt knives. Can you switch the blade out from the original arcade to the budget one? That's a good question. You might be able to. I would worry about if there's any tiny little difference in tolerances, it might not lock up correctly. That's the only thing I worry about with blade swaps. With each different model, there might be slight tolerance changes. You don't know. Did you find my entourage knife in the TSA hall? I don't know. It is technically possible. With as many TSA confiscated knives as I have purchased, and with nearly 800,000 subscribers here and 250,000 followers on TikTok, it is very possible that I ended up with somebody's knife. What's the knife to the left of the Knight's Visor? That's the Abyss V2 from Arcane Design, which releases the first week of October and is now in full DLC. Full DLC Magna Cut blade, full DLC titanium frame. Probably the most beautiful knife that he has ever created. Little tiny red aluminum pivot collar accent, which is just perfect. It's just freaking perfect. Ugh. Beautiful. Such a beautiful knife. The Timascus monstrosity. Have you not seen the Genesis Alchem? I'm going to break your heart. This is a version of the Alchem that is an upgrade of the standard Alchem. The standard Alchem, going to listen to you yap and do some assignments from class. I truly do not want to do. Also, the Jericho's very nice. It's nice. I quite enjoy. I will do my best to create noise and, put your brain into a sense of stimulation. Like classical music, right? They say you listen to classical music while you study. Listening to me and these weird chip tunes is basically the same thing, right? This Alchem, there was only 8 of these full-time Timascus Alchems made for North America, and this is one of them. They're gone now. But I'll also tell you that these sold for $5,000 each. So maybe that makes you feel better. But it has a 24-karat gold-plated M390 blade. But wait, it does another cool trick. Oh, what the hell? Why? I don't know, but it's freaking cool, right? It's one of the weirdest knives in my collection. And definitely one of the most expensive. Pretty cool. Kind of nervous still handling that one. Yeah, there you go, little guy. A lot of Timascus on it. That's a never sell. It's just too weird. The CSFM1 super thin has the titanium scales of very sleek Alice locks. My favorite knife. I've bought it before. None of the other knives do not have a collection. Sounds cool. I'll have to look that one up. Screenshot that. There are over 100 moving pieces in the Alchem. And the only reason I know that is because Melissa Backwoods had a video on it. And I asked her... Or hold on, I might be making that up. I don't think I asked her directly. We had a recent conversation, but it wasn't about that. I think I just watched a video where she had claimed it was over 100 moving parts, and I trust her. So, yeah, over 100 moving parts. Yep, incredibly impractical. It is the new... How many of you picked up the TriStash V2 for $150, $160? I think I might keep that. I'm going to talk to Blade Binge and see if they're okay with letting me keep it. It's so... TriState has ergonomic preferences that are very similar to mine, as does Jared. And this knife, I just love it. It's very similar to the diamond texturing that's on my Excalibur, and I love it so much. I also love the look of it. It's 154 cm. It's a titanium frame, steel liner lock. They got this version of it down a little bit. I think that was a smart move and a good move by TriState to make it more affordable. It's just a good knife, man. Chavez X-Lock, that one gave me a nasty cut here lately, here recently. Not because there's a flaw with it, but just because I was being dumb with it. I'm really the two older ones. I can hear them moving around upstairs, and I'm because like my wife's not here. If I keep hearing them pound around, I'm gonna have to go up there and find out what's going on. Henry, not yet. Wait for tomorrow morning. I want that to be a surprise for everybody. Do I have an all-time favorite knife in my collection? If we're going sentimental, it's the knife that my wife had made for me for our 5-year anniversary, and that was the very secret project with Brian Nadeau. She had an arch nemesis made for me, my first arch nemesis. So that'll always be my favorite sentimental knife. I would also say probably the first knife that she ever gifted me, which was the Lion Steel TRE. She gave me that for our first anniversary. And then sentimental, also my first pocket knife ever, which was my grandpa's knife. And then it was my dad's knife, and then it was my knife. By the time it got to me, it was in rough shape. And a bunch of people in the community, actually, I sent it off, and they had it restored completely and sent back to me. So sentimental, probably that one. If we're not counting sentimental, I have an extremely rare full dress arch nemesis with a zirconium frame and a milled blade, which I usually have out here. That one would probably take the cake. Hold on. We'll go into our bedroom and find our remote. You gotta check the couch. You guys have it stuffed in the couch. There's no way you guys pay it, right? Listen, the remote has to be where you guys were because you guys used it. I don't have it. Guys, listen. Go look, really turn all the lights on and look around on the couches. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Yes, hey, listen, go upstairs and look really hard in the couches and go through the cushions and everything. Look under the table, look underneath the couch. If you turn the lights on, it'll be easier to find it. But I promise you, it's right there. Go look for a little bit, okay? You can find it. Got it. Lost remote situation. I always say, I'm like, when you're done with the remote, just put it right back. Just put it right back on the table. But everybody else in this house, except me, puts the remote right beside them on the couch. And then they roll around on it, and it ends up inside the couch. I'm sure you guys have a similar, ritual going on in your own house with the remote. This remote has this house has about 14 remotes for various things, and only one is present at any given time. The Dirty Bird is off to the side. Oh, here it is. I'll get it out. Here's one of them. I have a blue one and a gold one. Oh, here's the blue one. We'll get the blue one out tonight. Somebody also mentioned that the backspacer is the tool. Now, I'm not going to mess with it tonight because I don't want to drop it. But the backspacer apparently comes out. Yeah, you can kind of see something going on in there. Button-operated liner lock with a safety. Really cool knife. Polished blue or gold titanium. Where's a good spot for that one? Best knife for a penguin? I don't know. Penguin doesn't have opposable thumbs or fingers or anything, so I don't know. I don't think a penguin should be using a knife. I think you're more likely to hurt the penguin. What's my most carried this month? You'll have to wait and see because I'll upload it. I'll put it in a video. Penguin brand? Well, the penguin's a model. Chickens fight with knives attached to their spurs, so something like that. Okay, I don't know. This is so weird. I don't know what to say there. I can't wait for that Nemesis either. I know, we've already talked about it. I just can't wait. Oh my god! Can we talk about... Now, it shouldn't be any surprise. I'm always thinking, what's a fun topic, you know? And I'm like, well, everybody else has covered it. I'll cover it too. Can OTFs deploy and puncture? And the answer, of course, is a little bit, but not fully. Not like the movies. So I upload a video. Now, this is not a viral short yet. It's a short that's got a good amount of views. 60,000. The number of people going, actually, the old school ones are designed to do that, and, So I made a follow-up video going, no, this is historically and factually incorrect. This is based on rumors and lies. It's people perpetuating lies and not being educated on this subject and being influenced by movies and TV and what they want and assume to be correct. So I demonstrated with one of the most powerful single-action OTFs on Earth, which is the Max Ace Draco, which is, of course, based on the Halo 6. I would say that the Draco is probably 90% the power of the Halo 6. Anybody who owns a Halo 6 knows if you fire that into your hand on accident, it's gonna hurt. Can you hold that thing up to a solid surface and expect it to fully impale and lock out? Absolutely not. I demonstrated it. So, of course, a bunch of ding-dong, yahoo, goofy potato people come out of the ductwork and go, oh, my grandfather has a trapdoor paratrooper and it'll fire through a solid concrete wall. He told me about it. I've never seen it and I can't actually prove it, but it's real. And I've fought tooth and nail in that comment section. I've gone to war. Every single person who claims otherwise, I immediately attack them. I will take the time to do that because it's a myth. It's an obnoxious myth. Every single one of us has run into some freaking ding-dong guy who's like, I know of a secret blade. Old wisdom, yes, not the type of wisdom granted to commoners such as yourself. Yes, no. My grandfather happens to know of a secret blade. One with the force, the power to penetrate any solid surface. You wouldn't know. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm gonna attack people for that. Can't stand it at all. Unbelievable. One of the conversations under one of the videos evolved into, okay, well, but it is totally possible. And you got a bunch of people theorizing. People brought up the pneumatic, the device that's used to put cows down, like in No Country for Old Men. And people are like, you could totally do that with a knife. My point was never like, is there a way to develop a single action OTF that can fire through, like, maybe, but the problem is that it has to depend on some sort of, some other source, some other inconvenient source. You have to haul around a freaking tank in a backpack so that you can use pressure to deploy. There's a bunch of issues with that. The reason we don't see it is because, number one, it's ridiculously inconvenient to do. We're never going to have a compact, EDCable, pocket-sized OTF that has the power to deploy that hard. They were never designed to do that, but people, they want it to be real so bad that they just make stuff up. Or they rationalize it like, well, you could make it possible by, you know, hauling around some sort of, like, pressure. Okay, fine, but you're never going to have it in a manually actuated knife because the amount of force required to preload it is beyond natural human strength if you want it to actually puncture. And even then, you're going to have issues with, like, how it's going to have massive bounce back. It's not, even the Draco has problems with bounce back. The Halo 6 has problems with bounce back. It's not going to lock out properly. It's not going to do it. These goobers are so, they're like, no! The fantasy will never die! And they fight, and they bring up, they reference things that don't exist and have never existed. If there's someone in here that believes that a single action It's not a safety, the derail, whatever. I'm talking about a single action where it's primed and you push the button and it's not going to stop unless it's met with a surface that can stop. No single action in history has ever been powerful to fully penetrate a body and lock out. It doesn't exist. It has never existed. That's movie nonsense. It is the most infuriating thing. The number of times that I read comments, actually? Now, you don't know. I want it to be real too. I do. I do. If it could exist, Tony Marfione would have done it. He brought us the closest thing. He brought us the Halo 6. That's the closest thing. Hydra, probably right up there. Draco, probably third place. That's it. That's all we got. My CKF Evo invoice was sent yesterday. So excited for my first CKF, especially it being the Evo. Is yours nearby so I can live vicariously until I get mine? The Rotten Evo. Yeah, it is nearby. I'll get it out for you here. I'm going to give you my thought. Let me give you my thought on this. Let's get out the Draco. Hey, Buttgrave, give me a sec here. I'll get it out. But let me give you my thought on how I think we could make a more powerful one. And I still, this is just me having dumb thoughts. And I think executing this would be so difficult. Here's the Draco. Very similar to the Halo 6. This is primed. The only way that it stops is if something is strong enough to stop it. But rest assured, it's strong enough to hurt you, but not go through you. Not like in the movie It. It's not going to do that. Kind of scary, right? Push it down. We prime it. There's a single spring in there. Now imagine, because this right here, hold on, let's do it again. This right here, this tab right here is dedicated to one side. Imagine you have a much wider body. And this piece back here fits inside another piece over here. And inside this piece over here, you have a second spring. So this second spring, you can now that it's primed, you can pull this back and double the amount. You have another spring in here, and you double the spring tension. And this locks in behind the blade. And now, when you actuate it, it fires with double the force. I think that's possible. But it would be a much wider frame, and it would look weird, and you'd have to double. I mean, and it's like, why? I think that is possible. But even then, with double the force, does this somehow make this lethal? And why do we need to have knives that are meant to, hold up against a solid surface and fire? We don't, because the whole idea is not to puncture on deployment. The whole idea is just that it is deployed quickly. I still don't think it would totally lock out. I agree with you. I don't think it would. I think you'd have bounce back issues. But everybody just wants to believe that it's like we can just magically make it happen. Because anime, because Assassin's Creed, and whatever else. There's no logic applied. There's so much to consider. Also, if you put too much force in a frame like this, every single time this impacts, like something is taking the force of this. It's impacting a stop pan, part of the frame, something. You still want the thing to operate. It's going to destroy itself. Too much force, too many impacts, and time will do damage to it. We live in a finite universe. That's not going to work. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to argue with every single person. And if you want a funny read, those two videos that I did, I don't think they found the remote. Hold on, guys. Did you not find it?
But Dad took all the blankets off and got none of anything.
Hold on. Tell him he has to share. And if he has a problem with it, tell him to come down here and talk to me. They found the remote, but now they're fighting about blankets. I know I invited it, and you know what? I think that I subconsciously tackle controversial topics with the surface level knife people because I want the argument. I want it. I actually am super stimulated by that. I don't just want the argument, but I want them to have the right information. I love killing knife world, like incorrect knife world tropes and rumors. I like stomping them out. And even if I'm only correcting, let's say that like I only convince 1,000 people out of the millions of people who just want to believe one thing or another, then fine. But I'm really passionate about that. There's just a lot of incorrect information in the knife world, and it drives me nuts. Galaxy Shadows, thanks for your donation. Is my mic cutting out? Is the audio bad tonight, guys? Pokey or slicey? I'll go slicey. No? Okay. Audio's good? Okay. All right. What time is it? Where are we at? Not that we're only halfway tonight, guys. Or wait, did I start at 6? Oh no, not half. Little, yeah, about halfway. The newest gen Microtech Ultratech? No, I don't. Can somebody give me an update on what is happening with Microtech's Zero Blade Tolerance Ultratech and the Hawk Deadlock? You know, what is allegedly being used in it? Can somebody update me on this? Hawk was like, hey, this is my system, you can't use it. And Microtech said no, and now I've noticed that they are all pulled from retail sites. Is this a pause while they work this out legally, or is there an end to it? It's an active lawsuit. So we have a stop sale on ZBTs. They claim it's a non-issue, but they're doing a Gen 4 without it. Right. Well, that's my patent infringement. Okay. But it's active. It's currently active, right? The reason I'm asking is because I want to make sure that when I talk about it, I use the right language. What is the knife you regret buying the most? The first time I bought a Sebenza. And that's a legacy knife. I was so disappointed in the Sebenza. I'm just not a Sebenza guy, but I think it's a fine knife. It obviously has a major track record, but there are so many things design-wise that I did not enjoy about the Sebenza. I love the Umnumzan, though. I think that's an incredible knife. Okay, it's going to be a while. Okay, so as much as I like Microtech knives, I agree with Hawk for, I mean, if this was actually Microtech, and we don't know, this is alleged. I'm going to use that word a lot because I don't want to get dragged into it. If Microtech allegedly used the same system, well, if it's patented and it's owned by Hawk, I can completely understand why Hawk was bothered by that. I think that seems like the appropriate action. But I don't know the ins and outs of it, and just like all of you, we have to wait and find out the outcome. That's what I assumed, is they're pausing the Zero Blade Tolerance version. So, those of you who have those knives, there's a chance that you will end up with something that is very rare. If you have them, you may never see them again, or at least not for a very long time. What's the best value knife? Isn't that the golden question? A lot of what Migron is doing for $28 is very, very good. The Penguin and the Parrot from QSP tend to be the go-to references there. at $29 or $32. But those are the kings of dollar for dollar. QSP Parrot, QSP Penguin, and many new Migron models that are a combination of aluminum and D2 for $28. Anything below that, like a lot of people will say, OpenL, I say spend more money. The OpenL's, there's so many reasons why the OpenL is not an optimal modern pocket knife. But it's fine. Oh, yes. God, I'm sorry, Butt Grape. Yeah, here, I'll get it out. Hold on, I have to move some stuff. My fault for forgetting about that. Move the iPad. This big, my main case is an 80 slot, and it's so big I use it as a tabletop. Where are you? Right here. Did you get the one with the DLC? This is the one with the shiny DLC. I got fingerprints all over it. Really, really awesome. One of the most comfortable knives in existence. Just wicked. This is a fun fact about the channel. A short of this knife generated 32,000 subscribers on this channel. I don't know what it was about the short. It's just me walking around in my yard with it, flicking it out. It was just a short video. And it got millions of views, and the channel generated 32,000 subs from a single video. CKF Rotten Evo, that's the 3.0. When is the drawing? Soon, friend. Soon. We got 866 folks in here at the 9:22 timestamp. Hello, 866 folks. Thank you for being here. If you would like to support this channel and gain access to a ton of amazing benefits, at the top of chat is a link for my Patreon. You can join my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You directly contribute to the channel budget, which goes right back into content. What do you gain? Once a week, exclusive content on Patreon. You also gain access to private Patreon buy, sell, trade, and chat. You also instantly gain access to my private Discord. You gain access to my private knife sales, which are usually really awesome knives that are dramatically reduced in cost, sometimes 50% off, and sometimes very rare things. I never sell things even close to retail, regardless of how rare they are. I sell them at a massive discount to my patrons. You also gain access to probably the biggest thing is the Patreon exclusive monthly giveaways. $1 will grant you access to one monthly giveaway, which is a premium knife. It's always a premium knife. $3 tier will grant you access to everything I mentioned, plus 2 premium giveaways per month. And the $5 tier or beyond will grant you access to 3 premium knife giveaways per month indefinitely. Or is that the right word? Continuously until I fizzle out and nobody cares about me anymore. But I give away some pretty crazy stuff on Patreon every month. So if you want all of that and you want to support the channel, there's a link right at the top of chat where you can support me. But that's separate from tonight. The community over there is awesome, and I am so proud of my Discord community for being level-headed and awesome people who just like knives and they're not Redditors. Yeah, I feel like my Patreon is an anti-Reddit group, and I really like that. And I like my moderators a lot, so if you want to join us at the top. Central Time is the best time zone, I agree. Not the best for weather. Our weather is very shitty, but it's the best for time. Oh, what a question. What a question here. Jim Barton sent 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Josh Caller, MC, I've been waiting on a regular Hinderer, but I can't afford it. What's your opinion on the ZT-0562? What a great question. This has a lot of channel history involved with it. The ZT-0562 is the ZT production version of the Hinderer XM18, and for a long, long time, it was not only considered a good knife, but a better product than the real thing. This was back when Hinderer did not have their detent systems figured out. It did not have a steel lock bar insert, and it ran on nylon, which a lot of people found not great compared to ZT's bearings. As time has gone on, the XM18 has proven to be the superior product, but it is still substantially more expensive. $300, or maybe it's $320 now, versus for full tie versus the $425 XM18 3.5 inch. The ZT is not as polished a product, but it is very good. The ZT is a very good. The 0562 is arguably one of ZT's greatest creations. And it honestly does not matter which version you get, even if you don't get the full tie front scale. It's a good knife. There's nothing wrong with it. If you can afford the ZT, you will really like it. $320. So you're saving $105 versus the real thing. If you pick it up, you'll enjoy it. But let me warn you, the inevitable path from the 0562, if you buy that knife, you will eventually buy the real thing. It will eat at you. I'm not only speaking from my own experience, I'm speaking like on behalf of so many people who went down that same path. I went down that path. I lusted over the Hinderer. Not only could I not afford it, I couldn't find it at the time. It was incredibly rare to pick up a Gen 4 XM8. It was Gen 3 to Gen 4 was when I became aware of it. I lusted over it. Went ahead and bought the 0562. Still to this day, one of my favorite pocket knives ever. It's incredible. The XM18 is a superior product in terms of overall finish, quality, execution. The ZT is very, very good. If you can afford it right now, buy it, but you're going to end up buying an XM18. That's just how it's going to go. I ended up buying literally 40 Hinderers. The total number of Hinderer knives that I have purchased over the last 10 years is 40. So you could turn into me. Here's an XM24 in full titanium. This is a Knife Center exclusive Harpoon Spanto in 20 CV with a factory authentic XM24 titanium scale. One of my favorite Hinderers in the collection. It's an absolutely beautiful knife. Incredibly smooth. Thoughts on 154 CM? For a long time, that was my favorite steel. I don't think that it is, like, for example, I think there are steels out there that are just flat out superior. Magna Cut, for example. Vanax, for example, but they're more expensive. 154 CM is a fine steel. You'll still see lots of knife makers and knife manufacturers use it alongside RWL 34 because of its nice rounded out performance and, more importantly, its ability to take pretty much any finish. It's very easy to mirror polish 154 and CPM 154 because it's just a friendly steel. It's a good steel, and it will continue to be a good steel for a long time. It will be a very long time before CPM 154 or 154 is phased out. It's very similar to VG10. 154 CM was created as a direct evolution of 440C, if my knife world history is correct. There are blade steel composition scholars in the comment section who will be able to elaborate on that further and who have superior knowledge to me. I have no doubt about it. You should listen to them. M4 is an incredible steel. M4, in my opinion, is... I live in an area where corrosion's not a problem, and I'll choose M4 over M390 any day because it's M390 with reduced corrosion resistance. It's not a stainless steel, but it has such superior toughness. Man, M4 is such a freaking monster. What a great steel. If you live in an area where corrosion's a problem, don't get it. If you don't have corrosion issues in your area, M4 is way superior to M390. Not super fun to sharpen, but totally doable if you have diamond stones. More 14C28N, less D2. This is a topic I love talking about. 14C28N has a better balance for like casual and especially like beater use because 14C28N is stainless. That's a property it has over D2 that's beneficial for a large population of people. And it also is, it's incredibly tough. So as you're using it, it's not going to chip, or it's not going to chip nearly as often as D2, properly heat treated D2. So if you need to strop it or, you know, correct something, it's very easy. D2 on the other hand, we've talked about this many times. When it is properly heat treated, it will absolutely annihilate any other steel in its general competition zone for price, because it's the edge retention on D2, especially up there at 62, 63, or even, I think some people claim 64. I don't know if that's 62, 63. The edge retention on D2 is outstanding. The problem is you don't see those HRC numbers at lower price points. I'm trying to push Migron to push D2, because if they can deliver pocket knives around $30 with D2 at even 61 HRC, they will win that category. They will be the gods of that category. D2 has incredible potential, but it's an old god. People look at D2 and they say, it's old news, we don't want it. D2 is incredible. It has an ancient, incredible power level. Would fit right in the DBZ universe. This underrated character comes out and smashes the bad guy's face out of nowhere. D2 is great, but it's never heat treated properly in the price point that it's delivered at. What grit finish? I'm not advanced enough to give you that answer. So when I have to, like my own Vanax on my Excalibur, I've been stropping it, but when it comes time to sharpen it, I'll use a KME with very basic knife sharpening skills and understanding. I don't know if I'll even start with maybe a 300, but I'll go up to 1500 very carefully. It'll probably take me 45 minutes. I'll go 300, 600, 1000, maybe, is it 3? I'm trying to think of what I have. I've got a 50, a 100, a 300. I might start with a 300 because I don't plan on damaging it that much. Maybe even higher. I might start with a 600, and then 1000, and then a 1500, and then I use a strop with compound. I'm not Neves, so I can't tell you. And my skills and my knowledge are not they're not on par with what you expect from my answer, so I apologize for that. You got a 3000 and an 8000? I can't even imagine. I go up to 1500 and I finish at 1500. You got a Benchmade 800 ACFK for $10 in ATS 34. Where did you buy that for $10? The ACKF? Hold on a second. Galaxy Shadows, thanks for your donation. Hold on. Is this the knife I'm thinking of? I'm not finding. I think I know what you're talking about. You got a great deal. Joe, thanks. Welcome to Knights of the Round. Show the Eclipse. I don't have one out here tonight. I'm sorry. You bought it at a flea market, there's a good chance it's a fake. I mean, like, Benchmade is like, it's almost like Rolex, and it's the most counterfeited company ever. There are more Benchmade counterfeits out there than anything else. AFCK. I knew that was wrong. Dang, dude. That's the Benchmade Spyderco. Yeah, I knew it. That's cool, man. If it's authentic, you got a great deal, but I would say there's a good chance that's a fake. I don't want to rain on your parade. I think there's a lot of ways to get it authenticated. Blade forums, as obnoxious as they are very good at identifying fakes. So, yeah, I mean, but that sounds really cool. I like 20 CV over M390, even though they're the same. I think the biggest difference is the silicon percentage. M390 has a higher silicon percentage. The history on that is Of course, it was Duratec 20CV, and now it's CPM 20CV, which, by the way, I think came from... Did you know how old 20CV is? 1999? Very old. I find it really funny that people say, that's such an old steel, it's so outdated, I want something more premium like M390. I'm like, man, that composition is based on something that came from the late 90s. They are chemically they're almost chemically identical. It's the silicon in M390 that's different, but it's trivial. It's also the equivalent of Carpenter's CTS 204P, which we never see. We never see that. You're never going to see... well, you're not never going to. You're very rarely going to see Carpenter's CTS 204P. Yep, there you go. The Kalashnikov? Like a corn cob Kalashnikov? That's awesome. I can imagine it. Has the heat treatment and overall info on the steel changed? Answer is yes. Jason Ferriani, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. He is absolutely correct. Older 20CV and M390 does not perform like modern optimized geometry and heat treatment. You get M390 and 20CV up there at like 62, 63. A lot of people say 64. I worry about chippiness up there. But you're getting it up there into that optimized range, and you have good geometry, it's a beast. We just don't see it. I always say, if it's M390, you gotta be industry standard, which is, again, not optimized. Industry standard should be 60 to 62. I'm tired of seeing 59, 61. We's got to get with it. Some companies will even do 58, 60. 58? Why is it even M390 at 58? That's a joke. It might as well be CPM 154 at 58. I'm not too proud to admit it. I accidentally bought a counterfeit Benchmade Mini Adamas on eBay. I'm much more suspicious, careful now. Dude, that's a learning experience that all of us, well, a lot of us that collect knives have experienced. I have accidentally bought fakes before. There's no shame in that. It's a learning experience. It's completely fine. Don't beat yourself up over it. Obviously, losing money on something like that is not something you want to experience, but there's no shame in that. That's part of the ladder climb. It's unfortunately the world that we live in, and obviously there are bad players out there, but you are stronger and more knowledgeable now because of it. And you'll also pass that knowledge on to more people. So sometimes that experience can actually have a massive, like an exponentially positive outcome, you know, if you spread that info around. How do you tell fakes? It's getting harder and harder. The rule of thumb is consider where you're buying from. And if it's too good to be true, it almost certainly is. You need to buy from authorized retailers, and I'll remind everybody that a big company like Benchmade absolutely has a list of authorized dealers. Secondary market, if you're going to buy secondary, I would suggest places like Blade Binge where you are protected if you end up with something that is not real. But yeah, like buy from Blade Binge secondary, even if it costs you a little bit more. Don't do that thing where people are like, you know, I'm going to get the best deal imaginable, because the best deal imaginable is probably not real. Dang, there's over 1,000 of you guys in here right now. What's up? Like seeing that population increase as we, you guys, a lot of you are back in school now and you're bored. Don't be cheap, but you can still save money and just make good choices. Fakes are really hard to identify, especially with Benchmade. The penguin I do know, yes. Yes, I am very versed in the art of the penguin. Oh, yes. The mystical blade. The mystical budget blade. Yes. Oh, yes, of course. Don't buy knives that don't have everything included. Like I mean, if it's a knife that comes with a COA, you better demand the COA. The more expensive it is, the more you should research what's supposed to come with it. Just you got to be careful about that. The Benchmade clones, like Benchmade cloners and counterfeiters, they have cloned the box, everything that comes with it. They've cloned the materials. You can't always trust the blade steel, but I mean, a lot of times people just aren't going to know. They're so good now, it's just difficult. People do return counterfeits in boxes, and if you don't have a good staff that can really identify that, even Blade HQ has accepted returns and then sold them as the real thing unknowingly. And you can't really come down on Blade HQ anymore because the clones are so good, you know. And there's lots of retailers that are falling victim to that. They do filter the vast majority of them, but it's getting harder. TikTok is exacerbating it. It's so bad. The counterfeit issue on TikTok is so freaking bad. Not great at cloning the interior of the box. I like the idea of dedicating a series to me buying TikTok counterfeits just to expose the differences. The problem with that is, while I might educate and help a small percentage of, good players in this community, I incentivize a massive number of bad players to go and purchase those and pump them into our economy. And I don't like that. I think that I would do more harm than good, unfortunately. What time is it? Oh, it's 9:42. Yeah. You guys are right. It's time for the giveaway. We only have 4 pouches to bring out tonight, and they are all super duper cool premium knives. Where are they? Oh, here they are. Oh, bless it. That's a big error that I'm going to have to deal with right now, guys. I had a multi-shelf thing just collapse on me. And if I don't fix this, I'm going to lose a lot of stuff to the back of my table. Oh, no! Oh, no! Why did I cheap out on this stuff? I don't cheap out on knives. I cheap out on everything else. The setup for this live stream is a $15 camera arm mount, my phone, a Home Depot table, and vinyl upholstery for the background. I am cheap in every aspect of my life except for my vehicle and my pocket knives. I buy the cheapest clothes imaginable and the cheapest anything that... everything that's involved in my life is unbelievably cheap except for the vehicle and the knives. Ow! Damn it! I'm dying here, guys. Okay. Don't cheap out on your vehicle and don't cheap out on the tool in your pocket. If you want to cheap out on other stuff, my opinion is cheap out on everything else if you can get away with it. But I almost lost a multi-shelf. I bought that. It's Husky. I got it for $12. I was like, it's a good deal. Okay. These 4 pouches contain 4 premium knives. First of all, if you're in here right now, and especially if this is your first time, you must do this. If you have not done what this square says, you're not entered. You absolutely must. You cannot just type in chat and assume you're entered. That's not how it works. You must go to the description. You must open the link that is following the text. Live participation required, enter here, or enter here. I think it says enter here. And there's a link. You have to click on that link and leave your comment under that video. There's no buy-in. You don't have to be a member or even a subscriber. It's truly free. You just need to leave that comment under the video. The video is a very short instructional video that I go over the basic rules, right? But you have to do that. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time because I know there's a few people in here who haven't done it. You have to do that, okay? And then we're going to draw. But in the meantime, I have to go to the bathroom. Okay. It's time. Real quick, while I have everybody captive. You guys have no idea how much the Patreon support helps. Truly, thank you to everybody who has supported me on Patreon throughout the years. The Patreon support 100% gives me the freedom to create a lot of the content I create. So if you would like to support that, it means the absolute world to me. There's a link at the top of chat for Patreon. I'll make it quick. Gain access to buy, sell, trade. Gain access to once a week Patreon exclusive content. Gain access to once a month Patreon exclusive giveaways. They're massive. Gain access to my Discord. Gain access to my private Patreon buy sell trade community and chat community. You gain access to a ton of stuff for as low as $1 a month. You can go up and benefit yourself in the number of giveaways that you can be a part of, and they are always incredibly premium. I'm always incredibly low on the pricing for my knife sales. There's a lot of stuff there, and the community is great. If you want to support this channel, the link for Patreon is at the top of chat, and I will be infinitely grateful to you. But I don't want to waste too much time with that because tonight's giveaway is free. Thank you so much to my incredible patrons. You guys are amazing. You make this channel. You are literally the gears of this channel, not the lube, the gears. All right, hold on. I'm getting the link for the giveaway. All right. You guys ready? Two people are winning big tonight. You are guaranteed not one, but 2 premium knives if you win. There are 4 pouches here. 2 winners, 2 knives each. They're going to be big. Let's refresh the page. There you go. Oh, go back to tool. Hold on. Okay, now we refresh the page. There we go. Sorry, I had to log in because I have to pay. It used to be a free service. Now I have to pay for it. Okay, there it is right there. There's your link. Scroll down, filters on. Get the total number of comments. Should be over 1,100 with the population in here right now. Ooh, 1,200 entries. There's your odds. The first winner tonight is, I think it's a 30-second roll, so let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy the anxiety. Oh boy, it could be any of you. Somebody's night is tonight. Everybody who's ever won has said, I thought I'd never win. Who's gonna be the winner? Which one? Which one? There it is. The first winner, Daniel Cad Satori. And the logo here says Satori Hope. Let's find him. Make yourself known, chat. You can spam. Everybody else, I would ask, calm your chat down and don't comment nearly as frequently so that we can all find this person conveniently and quickly. There he is, Daniel Cad, who actually tonight is a member. We've had a streak of non-members winning, so it's nice that a member won tonight. Congratulations, Daniel. I thought I recognized that name. You get to pick. You're the only one tonight who gets to pick 1 through 4. The last winner obviously is just gets whatever's left. So choose 2 numbers, 1 through 4. Third win? No, I don't think so. I recognize his name, but I'm not sure he's ever won before. Member 6 months and not even a hello? Hello, William Hornbostel, hello. Thank you for being here. 2 and 4. 2 and 4. 4 is definitely heavier. 2. Ah, you won the S90V Artisan that is the Ray Laconico. S90V flat grind and titanium. I forget the name of this one. It's a recent project here, but a nice full-size EDC. You can't go wrong with Laconico. I believe that's a $200 knife. Very nice. Your second win. Oh, he got it. He got the Damascus big boy. Woo! That's the Paul Munko Quasar in 20 CV and Damascus. By an interesting mix-up, I ended up with 2 of these. So that was a big win, dude. Big win. You got both of these. These are yours. Congratulations. Please email me at metalcomplex87@gmail.com with your first and last name, your shipping information, and the 2 knives that you won. You can say Artisan Laconico, a concept. This is a concept, I'm sorry. Concept Quasar, I think is what that says. Yeah, Quasar. So 20 CV and S90V. Email me with your first and last name, your shipping information, and the 2 knives that you won. I will email you back no later than Friday of next week. Congrats. Big win. Quasar's Paul Munko. It's a lot of Damascus. 2 pieces. 2 big pieces. Crossbar lock. Whatever concept calls their crossbar. Okay, it's time to pull the last one here. Final winner tonight. Here we go. You won 3 times? You're my second 3-time winner. You won the Hermit. Holy crap. That is unbelievably lucky, but possible. The only other person to ever win 3 times, and obviously the odds were better in the early days, which is probably part of your wins. The only other person to ever win 3 times was Bruce Levering. Congrats. Second time in history. I'm sure we'll get all the rigged, we'll get all that. Third-party website. There's nothing I can do about it. It's totally random. Unbelievable luck there. 2 for 1. Phase 2. It's a cat and a sombrero. Should be easy to find. Congratulations. 2 for 1. He got it. I see him. That's Sam Eaton. Right there. Phase 3. He said phase 3. Phase 2 is the comment. That's great. Come on. Most people are joking about the rig thing, but those of you who think it's rigged, you're a bunch of baloney. There's no incentive for me to rig this. It makes no sense. Congratulations. You won. Which ones do you want? Oh, wait. There's only 2 left. Bozo tape. That's just the end result of people not winning. I mean, I get it. It's frustrating to not win, but I set it up this way because it's perfectly random. I literally cannot control the outcome. It's a third-party website. There's nothing I can do. I have to pay for the service to roll. Most of you know that, but we're going to have some jingling keys TikTok people in here who just can't fathom. All right. First win. Ooh, we got the mini buckhorn in titanium and M390. The Ken Onion mini buckhorn. Very cool. I think those are 220, 250, 240, something like that. Second knife. Ah, yes, of course, the other one. This is the Concept Deadite. This is the black one. I gave away one last week as a bonus. This is black carbon fiber, black titanium, and black CPM 20 CV. This is, oh no, I'm sorry. It's not 20 CV. It's S35EN, and this is a Tough Knives design. 2 more premium knives. Definitely also a big win. Very cool. Congratulations. Please email me at metalcomplex87@gmail.com with your first and last name, your shipping information, and the exact knives that you won. I will email you back no later than Friday of next week. I also need to point out I'm late on shipping last week's winners. We had a parade to go through today, and I did not realize it, so I had to keep the kids ready about an hour and a half earlier, so it cut an hour and a half into my work schedule today, and I didn't have time to do that. So they'll get shipped out, don't worry. If you're waiting on a knife from me, you're going to get it. You just have to give me a little more time. Thanks for doing this, MC. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are entertained. There's no reason I can't stick around for a little bit tonight, so I'll hang out with you guys. Anybody who wants to do a little after party here with me, that's fine. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time. But if you're done, that's okay too. Don't feel obligated. Where is the... Hold on. 1, 2. This is a crispy tune. I like this. God dang, it's just gone. Oh no, it's up here. Sorry, I'm putting stuff away. I'm just clearing stuff up. This is always such a massive cleanup afterwards and just little tiny things. I should clean as I go, but I don't. I come back into this office on Monday, and it's just a disaster. No. Not changing my pants, no. Just clearing surfaces. I have way less desk space than you would imagine. Our high school football team won the game tonight. I'm still taking that as a win. You should. That's cool. That's cool. I have a couple RR Station knives. I think they're awesome. They're instantly recognizable too. I have never done a tour of the entire office, and I'm a little cautious of that, just considering the total number of people watching. But I've done a video where I showcase the outer parts of the surface of the desk, so about half the room. And the video's in collection updates and channel history, which is a pretty long playlist, but if you go through that playlist, you'll find a video tour of basically my work area. Best NES composer, thanks for the donation. Tim Fallon. Solstice intro is a banger. Entire Pictionary. The Pictionary soundtrack. So I watched a AVGN episode on that, and his opinion is the same as yours. The Pictionary soundtrack, which the game is apparently kind of dreadful, but the soundtrack is for some reason just an absolute banger. Sometimes 8-bit tunes are just amazing, and that's cool to know. I'm not up on my NES composer knowledge, but I'll take your word for it there. That's cool. Thank you for the donation. So I believe the X-Lock Chavez is a Riot knife. Do we know what the HRC range is for their D2? I would assume Riot would hit it over 60. It's 80. I mean, people are going to go, it's 85 for D2. Okay, but what's the HRC range on the D2? I'm ashamed to say I got 0 time this week to play Borderlands 2. I am still playing it, and I absolutely plan to finish it because I'm such a massive Borderlands fan. I love it. I have no real complaints other than it's the same thing I said last week. Like the character I chose, like the big Viking guy, He's a bit too heroic. Stand aside, citizen. Whoa! They went way too much like old school Superman, and they should have gone more Kratos God of War with that guy. He's slightly annoying. Outside of that, cool character. I think he's actually the weakest in the end game. I don't really care about that. But I do like the character. I like the playstyle. The gameplay is awesome. The exploration is awesome. It's just a fun game. His voice is just corny. Like, it's just the stuff he says. I'm like, just shut up, man. But that's also Borderlands. I'll give it credit. The entire game is far less annoying than Borderlands 3. I liked Borderlands 3, but the characters and the story and the little teenage girl who like knew everything and her struggle was like so much more important, and she was like just granted like this position where she was like of superior position and intellect. I was like, what is this? Who are we trying to put up on a pedestal here? This little girl is annoying, and she's like, she's angry and emotional, but like yet she still is like, we're supposed to support all of her frustrations. Like, it's just annoying. The end boss was annoying. She was supposed to be annoying. The whole thing was just, it was kind of cringy, but the game was fun. Too bad you can't upload your own voice. I think if I uploaded my own voice, people would have a huge problem with it. I think the best thing that's ever come out of Borderlands is the guy who voices Hercule is also the voice of the owner of Torg. That's the funniest lines that have ever come out of Borderlands were the guy who runs Torg. That's so funny. Oh yeah! That guy? He's awesome. He's Hercule, but he says swear words. They literally were like, just be Hercule, but let's like make it a Borderlands thing. Mr. Yeah, his first name's Mr. So good. I don't need Borderlands to make sense. It's just like, you know, some things are just like, all right. Okay. "28 Years Later" sucked. I liked the first two movies, but I also was a young, impressionable dude, so I have no idea. I don't like being called... If somebody ever called me Mr. and my last name, and they were being serious, I'd be like, don't do that. Just call me Richard. If you want to call me Complex, if you want to call me Richard, or you want to call me Dick, if you didn't know, my first name is Richard. You can call me Dick. That's fine. I've gone by Dick since 7th grade. I think Mr. Complex is fine. Mr. and my actual last name, I do not like that. That's weird. And I hold no professional status. So, it's odd. Dick Complex, you're welcome to call me that too. I think that's hilarious. Well, you have to. If your name's Richard, you just have to accept it. What are you going to do, fight it your whole life? You have Richard as your middle name? Richard's a pretty old name. A lot older than me. Nice to meet you, Richard. I'm James. That's my middle name. I don't think I've ever said that. My middle name is James. So you could call me Dick James. Bitch. That's a joke that's funny to me and probably not funny to anybody else. I'm glad you guys think that's funny. My last name is Johnson. Dick James Johnson. That sounds pretty badass. Honestly, if my last name was... If my full name was Dick James Johnson, god damn. That's a gritty ass name. That's a dusty ass, been through it kind of name. Are you gonna let the kiddos smack you around with the training swords while you wear the night helm? They already do that, so yeah, like, I don't have a problem with that. I don't want to damage the helm, though, you know, like, the thing is, I wouldn't say it's amazingly durable. I think the individual pieces are durable. I worry about the hinges. So, for everybody else that's still in here, the joke tomorrow, because nobody has seen the helmet that this guy 3D printed for me. He 3D printed a very realistic Dark Souls 2 helmet, which is very much the helmet that I use on the channel as far as, like, you know, the theme and the night helmets, right? The ones that the members in here are using right now. I have an actual 3D printed helmet and he went and did, like, the weathering. He painted it, and it's so cool. Tomorrow on my walkthrough for DLT trading, I'm wearing that helmet, and not once during the entire upload do I acknowledge it at all. I'm just wearing a helmet. And I thought it would be really funny. And I will do a video acknowledging the fact that he did it. This gentleman just did it as a fun project, and he told me, he said, I don't want or need anything. I love playing with my 3D printer, and I know you had emphasized, like, wishing you had a helmet like that to wear, and so I decided to make one, and I was like, that's amazing. It's so cool of him to do and, like, work on. It's probably a pretty expensive project, and I didn't make this a known thing, and I won't, but I did give, I am going to send him a knife that's very valuable and trade for that. He did not request that. I'm just going to do it because it was a really nice thing to do, and I want to give him something for it. But I'm not going to make a big deal about that on the channel. I'm just saying it now because there's far less people in here, and I feel like he deserves it. But, yeah, so for tomorrow's DLT walkthrough, if you want to watch that, it's just me in the helmet the whole time. Just not acknowledging at all the weirdness of wearing a helmet for 20 minutes during the walkthrough. He's, so we agreed on the new Kunwu that I got here recently, my most recent unboxing. That's the Vanax and Timascus. It's like a $300 knife, and I feel like maybe the helmet probably cost him more than $300, so I told him, I said, what do you think about this? Trying to gauge, like, if he thought it was a fair trade, because I told him, if this isn't your taste, we can work out something else. I wanted to give him something of equal value, bare minimum. And he was like, oh yeah, that's a great knife. Like, yeah, like, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. So I hope he likes that. But yeah, a nice Kunwu. It's so cool. It's so cool. Just wait. The detail, if you want to see the full detail on the helmet, go to my Instagram. I got it. The most recent video on Instagram is the helmet. I went ahead and uploaded it there. Biatch. I'm Dick James Biatch. Some people think that's funny. I remember making that joke a couple of times in college. I'd get a laugh from some people, and other people would be like, that's not funny. Like, that's super lame. So I was like, oh, okay, it doesn't land right. Yeah, it's a Chappelle show. It's not an ego thing. Like, it's a Chappelle show reference. When he wipes his muddy feet on the couch, there's like 10 times in my life where I've laughed so hard I thought I was going to die. Watching Chappelle dressed as Rick James in those big-heeled muddy shoes, and he's like repeatedly double stomping into this clean couch. He's saying F your couch. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. God, that was such a funny bit. With the older Murphy brother. Oh my God. It's so funny. That's iconic. That's one of the funniest things that's ever been. The first time I had to watch it again because I was like, I don't even think I'm appreciating it the way that I should be. The urinal scene, also for Chappelle, like top 10, like best moments on Chappelle. The urinal thing with the, like, where he's got the, does he have the white face? Chappelle in white face is. Oh my God. remembering Chappelle and what? Chappelle doing the Y-face bits. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh my god, I'm dying. I can't even recalling it to memory is like triggering a heavy emotional response. Oh man, if you've never treated yourself to that, you should. It's so funny. It's the length that he goes to make it so white. It's so like it's like powder white. It's so funny. Oh man. They're really gems. It's really unfortunate that people don't like him now. Because I think he's a huge gift to the world. And there are many things that he says that are controversial, and obviously I don't agree with everything he says. But a lot of the Chappelle Show bits were really good. Obviously I don't support racism in any capacity, but I don't think Chappelle is racist. I think that he's just he just points out the flaws in a lot of like mentalities and ideologies, and it's funny, you know. And sometimes people don't like being presented with certain realities, especially considering it's being delivered by Dave Chappelle. I'm not going to pretend to understand his means or method, you know, but I mean, just as a casual viewer of his show, I find it hilarious. Yeah, I agree. Not racist at all. He's just incredibly hilarious. And he's clearly hyper intelligent. Like anybody who listens to Dave Chappelle talk, you can think whatever you want about him, but to assume that he's unintelligent, I think, is very incorrect. The guy's obviously intelligent. He did get screwed over by the industry. He said a lot of interesting and very cryptic things about once you... I got chills when he talked about, like, once you get into a certain position and you get into a certain... you reach a certain level, you answer to certain people. You remember this quote? He said, once you reach a certain level, and I'm not going to quote him exactly because I can't remember. You reach a certain level, and you find out that you answer to certain people. And then he disappeared for a while, and I'm like, man, yikes! I mean, who knows what he's dealing with? Very kind of scary, you know? You have to do certain things. Yeah. That made me respect him a lot. It's like, I don't even know what you had to deal with, man, but it sounds very legitimate. All right, guys, I really want to check on the kiddos. I love doing live streams, but something I really cherish is these little hangout sessions with... There's always 300 to 400 of you who like to hang out here with me, and I try to emphasize how special this is to me. You know, there's 800,000 people subscribed to the channel. We have 300 people in here, and this is really special to me, the people who hang out afterwards and just like to chat and hang out, because it really does feel like we're all just kind of sitting in a room and, you know, just hanging out and talking. And I love that. It's always been that way. This channel has always been that way with these little after hangout sessions when I get a chance to do it, and I love these. It feels so organic. You know, I love the high energy and the yelling and freaking out and talking about the ranty stuff, and that's a good time. And it is organic. You know, I ham it up a little bit, but it's all real. But I do love these little hangout sessions afterwards, and you guys who hang out with me and talk about whatever. It's just a good time. It makes me think of college. You know, when you come back from the bars and your buds are with you, and you're just sitting there, you know, eating some pizza and just kind of winding down. It's a good time. It is time for me to go and be a dad. The kids are probably fine, but it's time for me to go be a dad. And I also have a Jimmy John sandwich in the fridge that I really want to eat. So, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Thank you to my channel members. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my TikTok and Instagram followers. Thank you to everybody who allows me to do what I do full time, because this is an insane job. It's ridiculous. I'm obviously very lucky, so thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I hope you all truly, sincerely, have an excellent rest of your Friday evening and an excellent rest of your weekend. Bye.